With all the head coaching vacancies across the SEC and across college football, we knew that this was bound to happen. We got a report from The Athletic that says Josh Heupel is drawing interest from a couple of athletic directors across the country. I'll tell you that report, give you my thoughts on it on today's show. But before we get there, make sure you subscribe. It is the bye week, and so, of course, we got to get into our bye week sub-battle against the Michigan Football Report, Alabama, and Ohio State, our three other college football channels right here at Chat Sports. Right now, we sit in third place, but I think we all know we're not the third best team. We're not the third best channel in this group. Let's get to first as quickly as possible. Only 19 subs down from the Michigan Football Report. So if you haven't joined us yet, do it right now. It was another Sunday, bloody Sunday in college football, as Hugh Freeze is the one who gets the axe this time, and he's no longer the head coach of the Auburn Tigers. They decide to go in a different direction after a very disappointing start to the season in year 3 of Hugh Freeze's time on the Plains. Right now, there's some big openings in college football. LSU is at the top of the list, then Florida, Penn State, Auburn, Arkansas. I think those are the 5 biggest, and I think they're the 5 biggest in that exact order. LSU, Florida, Penn State, Auburn, Arkansas. And so there have been rumors swirling a lot recently of like, hey, why hasn't Josh Heupel been floated as a name out in any of these openings, right? Because you're hearing names like Neyland Stadium, you're hearing names like Lane Kiffin, but Josh Heupel had kind of been able to stay in the shadows and really not be talked about a lot, which I was very, very thankful for. Well, unfortunately, we're not at that point anymore. This coming from The Athletic. Industry sources tell us an SEC head coach with an explosive offense is intriguing some ADs looking for a new coach. Well, besides Kiffin and Drinkwitz, that's Josh Heupel, the 47-year-old Tennessee head coach who has done a terrific job in dragging the Vols out of the ditch they were in for a decade plus. Under Heupel, Tennessee went to the playoff last year and has finished in the top 10 in 2 of its last 3 seasons after going 20 years without being there. And I'm just going to tell you right now, this should not surprise anybody, okay? I remember listening to Andy and Ari a couple of weeks ago with On 3, and I think they were saying at that time they were kind of surprised that Josh Heupel's name wasn't mentioned, and that's kind of where I've been, like I told you earlier, over the past few weeks. Well, now we're there, and I'm not that shocked about it because if you look at what he brought Tennessee out of, there's a reason he's being talked about. Look at the records before he got there: 5-7, 8-5, 3-7, and then they jump up to 7-6 the year after that in year 2 with Josh Heupel. They're 11-2, 9-4, 10-3 with a playoff berth in 2024 this season so far. They are 6-3. Let's talk about these jobs, though, because right now, when you talk about LSU, there is zero stability there. And I think that's the one job that everybody's most scared about if you don't want Heupel to leave. They're the most scared about LSU being able to pry him away from Knoxville. But right now, it is very shaky ground in Baton Rouge. I mean, just look at what's happened over the last week or so. The governor of Louisiana, and I don't know if you've seen the video or not, but if you watch 2 seconds into the video, you can tell he's the governor of Louisiana, if you get what I'm saying, calls out Scott Woodward, the athletic director for LSU, and basically says he's not going to be the one making this decision, we will be. Well, it's obvious he's not making the decision because just a couple days later, he got fired. An anonymous SEC athletic director called the LSU program right now a total clown show. Josh Heupel at Tennessee is on very stable ground. It might feel after the loss to Oklahoma that he's on a little bit of a hot seat. I can promise you right now, he's not. That athletic director, him and Danny White, have been friends for a very, very long time. Danny White knows where Josh Heupel's brought in this program. He sees the attendance. He sees the dollars they're bringing in. They're not going to make a change, okay? So why would Josh Heupel want to leave a very stable situation at Knoxville to go to LSU when, even though LSU is a good job, is it that much better to risk the stability? Florida, to me, kind of feels like a lateral move, okay? A lot of people might not feel that way. I frankly don't care if you disagree with me in this subject. Sure, Florida's won a national championship this century. That's great. They've had some really good teams in this century. That's great as well. But think of the last couple of years, Tennessee's been better than Florida, right? If you think about the 2 biggest things that head coach looks at, how's your recruiting, how are your NIL opportunities? Tennessee's better than Florida is at both of them. Okay? If you look at the recruiting classes for Tennessee, it's 8th, right? Florida is 12th, 14th. LSU is 12th. Tennessee's 14th when it comes to NIL. Florida's better. They're at 10th. Not that much better. LSU's better. They're at 9th. And so it's like between those 3 jobs, there is not one job that particularly stands out amongst the rest of them. You can have the exact same opportunities at a school like Tennessee like you can at Florida. For Penn State, just tell you straight up, no way in hell he's going to go to Penn State. That makes 0 sense whatsoever. They're not going to be able to pay him much. Not much. They're not going to be able to pay him enough to leave his situation at Tennessee to go to Penn State, a school where the recruiting is worse and the NIL opportunities are worse. Arkansas and Auburn, in my opinion, they're both just steps backwards. Like, why would you leave Tennessee to go to a school like Arkansas, to go to a school like Auburn, where the recruiting is worse and where the NIL opportunities are not as favorable, okay? So of those jobs, I get it. LSU probably scares you the most, but I don't think you should be that worried about it because while some may look at it as a step up, it's not that big of a step up, even if it is, okay? Although that there is interest, and we know from the Athletic, I can promise you, Heupel's not going to go anywhere. He's not going to go anywhere. Nobody's going to be able to pull him away from Knoxville. He has things too good in Knoxville right now. The recruiting's too good. He has too much backing from the athletic director, from the collective, from anything, right? He's not going to go. And he shouldn't, okay? Sure, if LSU's a better job, it's not that much better. You want Heupel to stay in Knoxville? If you do, hit the thumbs up button and like today's video, okay? If you want him to stay on Rocky Top, like this video right now. Coming up, don't go anywhere, my take on Josh Heupel. I've had a lot of Twitter traction over the past couple of days, and I think we should just discuss it in an open, free-flowing forum. People have a lot of opinions on Josh Heupel after Saturday's game. I've got my own. Stick around to hear them. But before we get there, make sure you guys go to chatsports.com/UTQZip to get this thing for just $30. $30. If you went into the Vols shop right now and you found this exact same thing, it would be $80 minimum. It's $30, okay? It was $50. They're doing a big sale, so get there right now. Christmas is a month and a half away. That's crazy, guys. Get yourself some Christmas shopping done early. Chatsports.com/UTQZip. That link is in the comment section and description of today's video. Look, I love Josh Heupel. I want to start it off there. I'm so thankful for what he's done for Tennessee. So thankful for what he's done for this program. And I don't think firing him should even be in the discussion right now. To anybody who does suggest firing Josh Heupel, I automatically look at that person and I don't take their opinion seriously. But at the same time, there's 2 sides to this coin. You're in year 5. You need to win big games, especially at home. You dropped the game against Georgia. You destroyed Oklahoma pretty much in every statistic except turnovers, and that's what ultimately bit you in the ass. I need Josh Heupel to make some changes this offseason, okay? We are at the point where if he gets fired 4 years from now, we will look back to this offseason to point to be the reason why. If it's an offseason that he doesn't make changes. But if he does, if he fixes some things around in Rocky Top, then that's going to give him a lot of longevity, and that's going to, I think, revamp a lot with this team and help us kind of slim down those margins between big wins and big losses. 4 changes I need to make. Number 1, fire Tim Banks. I get it. The defense was not the problem on Saturday against Oklahoma. And in the second half, they didn't play great, but like they were on the field far longer than they should have been. But I need a new defensive coordinator in Knoxville. Tim Banks just is not doing it for me. The more and more we go on through the season, it seems the more and more last year was a testament to the players that were on this team, not the coaching. I wouldn't mind thinking about Ronnie Garner to be the defensive coordinator. Now, I get it. He's a little bit older. He's about to be 60. He's your best recruiter as well. That would pull him off the recruiting trails just a little bit, and I don't know if you're willing to sacrifice that. I'm not saying Garner is the slam dunk, no doubt about it, hire, but if Garner does get promoted to be the defensive coordinator, I would not mind that one bit. All I know is if you let go of the defensive coordinator, make sure Ronnie Garner stays on the staff. Number 2, give up play calling. This one has upset some people on social media, and I will explain to you what I mean by this. I love Josh Heupel as a play caller. I don't think he's a bad play caller one bit whatsoever. What I do think is he's a horrible game manager. Horrible. That's not even speaking hyperbolically. That is just the flat out, downright truth about his ability to manage these games. Late in the first half, late in the second half, he's terrible in those situations. And that's because he's got his hands too much into the offense. He's got other things to worry about. When you try to do two things, be a head coach, be a play caller, you can never do two things great. You can do two things fine, two things mediocrely, maybe one thing really good, one thing really bad, but there's a balance that will have to be in play. I want him to be a great head coach, and I don't know if he can be if he's focused on college plays. I get it. They do it in the NFL. This isn't the NFL. This is college football we're talking about. What do you think? What changes does Heupel need to make this offseason? Let me know in the comment section down below. I get we're not there yet. We still got 3 games to play. I understand that. We're just talking, okay? Don't get mad. It's YouTube. Chill out. Number 3, fire the special teams coordinator, okay? You lost Eckler over the offseason. That was a big loss, guys. I thought Eckler was really, really good at his job. He loved being at Tennessee. He was a fun follow on social media. And this special teams room is just not good enough. Plain and simple. You got a punt returner who can't seem to field a punt. You got a kicker who can't seem to make big kicks. If you make 2 kicks this season against Georgia and that one against Oklahoma, you're likely an 8-1 ball club. Instead, you're 6-3. I'm not saying it's all on Max Gilbert, but a little bit of blame does fall on him. This is football. Someone's got to take the blame for it. It's never going to be all on one person. It's going to be divvied up, but you got to give some of that to Max Gilbert. And number 4, raid the portal for a safety. I think this team needs safety play bad. Really, really bad, okay? I'm not really worried about the defensive line in the next season. Sure, you're going to lose some big players, some good players. That's just kind of how it goes every single year. But I think this is 100% the biggest offseason need when it comes to players. Wouldn't mind adding a wide receiver. But you'll have Tristan Keys coming in, freshman wide receiver. They do really, really well in college football. Just look at Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams last season. Feel really good about the offensive line. Feel really good about the running backs. Just go get as many defensive players as you can and start in the safety room. That's going to do it for me on today's show. Make sure you guys got me followed on social media. Like I said, Twitter, it's been popping lately. A lot of people agreeing, a lot of people disagreeing, but hey, that's what social media is for. TikTok, Instagram, I'm on both platforms, and I'm right here every single day. Subscribe, join us. Tennessee Football Talk, daily coverage